Hello, welcome. My name's Radhagita and I'm here in the LBC's Breathing Space Shrine Room. And yeah, welcome to this YouTube class. I'm here with Hippolyte, who's stepped in to do the tech, fortunately. And today's class is called Dive into the Depths. So yeah, we'll be doing some diving into the depths. So yeah, get your yoga mats, blocks, anything you think you might need for the class. And if you've already got those, then perhaps you might want to just sit on your mat. We'll take a minute or two to arrive in a few moments. But yeah, you could just set yourself up so you're already sort of on your mat, connecting with the fact that you're going to be doing some yoga. Yeah, and it's a lovely day out there today, so maybe you can see the sun through your window. Probably you're not practicing outside unless you're really well wrapped up. But yeah, do take a moment to look out of the window, take in the sky, the sunshine, the trees. And do say hello if you'd like to in the chat box. You can say where you're tuning in from. It's always nice to know if people are tuning in, who's tuning in. Sometimes local, sometimes further afield.
Now we have Michelle Bishop.
Oh, hello, Michelle. Michelle's a real regular yogi.
John Griffin.
And John as well. John's just over the road, literally. Well, a bit further than over the road, but not far. And if there's anyone tuning in from further afield, like another country, another city, just another place, then do say hi.
We have Maria from Mitcham.
Maria from Mitcham, okay, a bit further afield, great. Hi, welcome. So actually, while we're waiting, and I'll say this at the end as well, I just want to say that we've got an online retreat over New Year rather, from the 27th until the 1st of January. So it's a retreat called the Heart's Release. So there'll be meditation, there'll be talks, and also every early evening, late afternoon, between 5 and 6 p.m, I'm going to be teaching some restorative yoga on the retreat. So if you are interested in coming on a retreat over that period, 27th until the 1st, then do have a look at the LBC's website, do book for that. Apparently there's already 700 people booked up, so you could be one of many coming together to practice over the new year, which is such a good time to reflect, particularly this year, even more than ever, you know, the particular year that all of us have had. We could never have predicted it last year at this time. So yeah, it's a real opportunity to do that. And yoga will be part of that retreat. So do have a think about that. Okay, we'll make a start. So let's just first of all close our eyes wherever we are seated and just take a moment to connect with our body here now. Just checking in, how does the body feel? How does it feel in the shoulders? How does the back feel? And see if you can really start to connect with the body, supported by the earth, through your legs, your sitting bones, your feet. And also connect with your breath. Just notice the breath moving through the body, following a few breaths. And as you do that, letting the awareness Really rest in the body, noticing sensations, energy, life, tinglings. And then slowly opening your eyes, and we'll start to practice, we'll start to just loosen up the body a little bit before we dive a bit more deeply into a few poses. So coming off your blocks and just coming onto all fours, spreading your fingers, and just check that the knees are under the hips, hands and wrists under the shoulders. And we're just going to start to do a few cat-cows just to wake up the back of the body. So as we inhale, lift the chest and the sitting bones. And then as we exhale, really pressing the earth away and letting the back round. Belly moves towards spine. And then inhale, feeling that wave of energy through the back as we lift the chest and the sitting bones. And then exhale, rounding. So just doing a few of these, really feeling into the back body. Your spine will really thank you for these cat-cows. Probably for a lot of us, the spine stays in the same position because we're sitting a lot. But in this simple pose, the spine has a chance to just move a bit more. And we also have a chance to really take the energy into the back body, because so often it resides in the front of the body where we look out from. So just a few more of these. And then coming to neutral. And we're going to let our left toes slide back and then lift the left foot up, but keep the toes pointed down and just check that your leg is roughly in line with your hip. And then lift your right hand forward. And then to activate the arm, just make that hand into a fist and feel a sense of stability. Try and get a sense of stability in the hips and the back. So we're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring elbow to knee. And then we're going to inhale again, lengthen, still keeping this fifth shape, and try and keep stability in the hips. Great. And then exhale, rounding. One more. And rounding. Great. And then release. Just for a moment, let the body move a little bit from side to side. And then we'll let the right toes slide, and then the foot and leg lifts up. And then stretch the left hand forward, making a fist, and feeling how that really activates the arm muscles. And then on the next exhale, elbow to knee, curling in. And then inhale, stretching, and exhale, curling. And then last one, inhaling and exhaling. Great. And then hands and knee comes back down. And again, just let the body sway a little bit from side to side. Walk the hands forward. I'm going to draw a few circles with the hips. So nice, big, generous circles. Starting to get some fluid, synovial fluid moving around the hip joints. And there might be a little bit of cracking as you do this, creaking. And then you can go in the other direction. Last one. And then back to center, and then walk the hands back again. And this time we're going to come into a twist. So I'm going to lift my arm to the right and then let it scoop under my left arm. And I'm going to do that 3 times. So lift it to the right, twist, and then let it scoop under the left arm. Last time. And then this time, let the right cheek and the right shoulder come down towards the ground if you can. You could be on the fingertips of your left hand, or you can place that left hand on the sacrum if that's nicer for you. Let the right fingers stretch out, deepening into the back of the shoulder. Great. And if you want to take this pose a little bit deeper, you can also walk the left fingers forward on the tips of the fingers and then walk the toes of the left foot back. So you stretch that left foot back and you come into a deeper stretch. But if you find that you feel a bit unstable doing that, then just bring that left knee back to the ground. But this can take the stretch a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths here, really breathing generously. Imagining the space opening up in the shoulder. And well done, that's brilliant. And then coming back, knee down, hand comes back, pressing ourselves up. And then in between sides, let's do 3 cat-cows. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one. And then we'll do the other side. So lifting to the left and then scooping that hand underneath your right arm. So it's a bit like a bridge, the right arm, 3 times. And then on the 3rd time, letting that left shoulder and cheek slide and come down onto the ground. Either being on the fingertips of the right hand, or you can bring it onto the sacrum for a little while, or you can, after a little while, you can walk it forward, and you can also walk the right toes back so that you come in more deeply to this stretch. But if it's hard to balance, keep both knees on the ground. 2 more breaths. Great, and then hand comes back down, right hand, left hand comes back out. 3 more cat-cows. And then back to neutral, and then walk the hands forward again. And this time we're going to come into a half dog pose. So make them about as wide as your mat and spread the fingers, and then start to let the chest descend towards the mat. The forehead can descend. For some people, having the chin on the ground will be really comfortable, but for me, that's not good on the neck. So you can let the forehead come down. Buttocks are stretching back towards the heels, but they're not going to get there. They're just stretching in that direction. And hopefully after that little shoulder opener and twist, there's a bit more space in the shoulders and upper back. So just breathing there. Breathing awareness into that space. Diving into the depths of the upper back with your awareness. 1 more breath. Great. And then we're going to walk back and we're going to, with the hands, and come into a downward dog. So tucking the toes, drawing the hips back and lifting up into the first downward dog of this class, and then just pedaling the feet a little bit. So stretching the soles of the feet so you come onto the ball of one foot and stretch the opposite foot, heel down, doing that a few times.
And you can also bounce a little bit, bending the knees and then straightening. And really activate the fingers, pressing the base of the big index finger down so that you really activate your back. And also think about rolling out the upper arms from the inside. So by activating the arms, you can then think about rolling them out a little bit. But rather than trying to impose that from the outside, think about doing that from the inside. So it's a movement of the fingers, affecting the arms, which then creates more space in the shoulders. One more breath. And then stepping the left foot forward and dropping the right knee and coming into a lunge. So we're going to sweep our arms up and then let the shoulder blades slide down the back. Couple more times, sweeping, and then let those shoulder blades slide down the back. So opening the chest. Last one. And this time as we do that, bring the left hand onto the left hip, lift the right arm, and we're going to take a side stretch. So we're stretching the right side. One more breath. And then bring both hands together, palms at the heart, and then hook your right elbow across the left knee. And so if you can start to turn again, so lengthen and then turn towards the left. If you want to bring that back right foot off the ground and leg, you can do that. But if you want to stay more stable, then just keeping that back knee down, breathing here, lift the belly away from the thigh. One more breath. Fantastic, great. And then hands down, step back into downward dog. And then in between sides, let's drop the knees, lower the chest, scoop low down, and then lift up, letting the shoulders roll back. And then head comes down. And then we come back into downward dog. And then we'll do the other side. So this time stepping the right foot forward, left knee comes down, scoop the hands up and forward, and then let the shoulder blades release. So 3 of these, last one. And then on the last one, bringing the right hand this time to the hip, lifting the left arm and stretching over to the right, stretching that left side all the way down to the hip. So you can really feel that stretch. Breathe, soften the face. Great. And then lift both hands, palms together. And this time left elbow comes across right knee. Look at your right foot to begin with to really find stability and balance. Lift the belly away from the thigh, lengthen the back, and then see if you can turn towards the right. And then if you want to, you can lift that back knee off the mat. 2 breaths here. One more breath. Great. And then hands down and step back into a downward dog. And then again, drop the knees and lower yourself forward and down. So it's chin, then chest comes down. So you almost stick your bottom up as you're going down. Well, you don't almost, you definitely do. And then back into downward dog. And then from here, we're going to lift our left leg up and back. So breathe in, lift the left leg, up, up, up. Great. And then step it forward. And this time we're coming into a Highland, Crescent lunge. So we're on the ball of the back foot. And we're going to do that same sweeping movement with the arms. We're doing 3 of those. And then we're going to drop the right hand and turn to the left, twisting to the left, reaching up with fingertips, breathing, deepening into the twist. Great.
And then sweep that left hand forward to join the right. And now we're going to try bringing the right elbow across the left knee. Great. If it's very hard to balance, let that back leg, knee come down. Breathe here. Well done, you're doing great. One more breath. And then hands down, step the left foot back. And this time you can either do knees, chest and chin again, or you can bring yourself forward into a plank. You can lower yourself, flip the toes and come into up dog and then down dog. So your choice here. And then we're going to lift the right leg up, 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 breathing it up high, stretching up, and then bringing that foot forward and coming into the high lunge. So again, sweeping the arms up 3 times. Great. Last one. And then let the left hand drop to the ground. Turn towards the right, lifting that right arm up. Breathe here into the twist. And then let the right arm swing forward to meet the left. Left elbow comes onto right knee. Find that balance again. Turn. Belly away from the thigh. One more breath. Fantastic. Well done. And then hands down. Step back. Downward dog. And then either knees, chest and chin, or coming into a plank. Up dog and down dog, or cobra and down dog. And feeling the body now, feeling the heat in the body. And then we're going to walk our hands back towards the feet, and we're going to walk the feet towards our hands. So we come somewhere in the middle of our mat, take hold of the elbows, and let the back release. Do bend the knees if you need to. This is like a dangle, so it's a lovely release for the back. And then place the hands onto the ground, bend the knees and really let the weight start to come back into the heels. So bending the knees, bend deeply, buttocks are moving back and down, and then we're going to sweep the arms up. This is chair pose, Utkatasana. This is a strong pose for our legs. And then bring the palms together and circle the arms all the way up. And then we're going to go back into that pose. So bending the knees, weight drops into the heels, deepening that connection with the ground. Lift the arms, breathe, smile even. And then again, circle the arms all the way up. And last time, palms together, come all the way down, and then lift the arms, dropping the buttocks down, down. Great. One more breath. And then palms together and circle the arms all the way up. Hands to the heart. Just feel the legs for a moment. And then circling the arms up and folding forwards. Lengthen the heart forward and then step back again into a downward dog. And then come forward into a plank or knees, chest and chin. And then up dog or down dog. And then again, walk the feet forward between our hands, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. And this time we're going to bring the hands together and come into a twist. So right elbow is going to come across left knee. So it's a chair twist, a twisted chair. So really bring the weight into the heels. Lift the belly away from the thigh. One more breath. And then in between, sweep the arms up. And then palms together, and this time left elbow, cross right knee. Weight back in the heels, buttocks moving back and down. Find a little bit more rotation. Last breath. And then sweep the arms forward. And then palms together and circle all the way up. Hands to the heart. And again, feel the legs. Feel the energy in the body. And then sweep the arms up. Fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen your heart. Forward, and then exhale, step back. Downward dog. Forward into a plank. Up dog. Down dog. And then take a moment to let the knees drop, bring the feet together, come into a wide-legged child's pose, stretching the arms forward. Really letting the buttocks land more fully on the heels. So keep diving into the depths of the body and the breath. One more breath. And then slowly walk the hands back towards the knees, just sitting for a moment. Checking in with how you are, how the body feels. And then bring the hands down and forward. Walk the feet back a little bit and we'll come back into a downward dog. And again, stretching out the legs. And then again, walk the feet forward between the hands. Really bring the weight into the heels, bend the knees and circle the arms this time all the way up. And bring the hands to the heart. So let's come into a tree pose now. So we can really kind of stamp our left foot into the ground, really creating that connection with the depth of the earth. And then we can lift the right foot up and we could put it on our ankle, above our knee, or we can bring the heel right into the inner groin. So just finding our balance first, finding that stability, and try and squeeze the legs a little bit so it's like you're squeezing the hips together. And from that squeezing motion, then the torso can lift up out of the hips, and then you can let your arms lift up. And hopefully there's enough space. Hippolyte's quite tall, so he can't completely stretch his arms out, but hopefully you can at home. Reaching up long with the fingertips. And if your tree sways a little bit, that's okay. That's what trees do in the wind. Let your face soften and find a resting place for the eyes so that it can end up feeling effortless, just standing here as it does for a real tree. I recently went somewhere where there was a 500-year-old ancient oak, and it was amazing seeing this tree and its roots. I went to see it every day for a couple of weeks. So do have a look at trees. It really can sort of deepen our connection with this pose as well as the trees themselves. And then bring the palms together Bring them down in front of the heart. Release that leg. And then just walk the legs out a little bit for a moment in between sides. Wonderful. And then this time really sort of, it's like we really want to sort of stamp that right foot into the earth to create the roots down, and then lift the left. Bring the heel. Again, squeezing the legs, squeezing. Imagine you're just drawing up. So it's like you're drawing up from the pubis bone up to the navel. And then you can slowly, you could bring the hands to the heart first, or you can just lengthen up. As you lengthen the torso out of the hips, stretching towards the sky. So feeling that connection with earth and sky. Let the face soften and the eyes. And breathe here. One more breath. Wonderful. And then making the exit of the pose just as much a part of the pose as the pose itself. Releasing the leg and then just walking out the legs again. And then just to release the hips a bit, let's do a few little hip circles. Feet about hip width or a little bit more wide and going in both directions. Great. And then come back to the top of the mat. Lengthen upwards, hands together. And as we do that, folding. And then lengthen your heart forward. And then step back again into a round thing. And then rock forward into a plank or knees, chest and chin. Lowering yourself down, up dog or cobra. And then back into downward dog. And then walk the feet forward a little bit. And as you do that, bend the knees and come to a seated position. And we're going to come into a boat pose or a half boat, Navasana. So we're going to really want to come up onto our sitting bones here. So we might even want to just practice moving our legs a little bit first of all. And then you can bring the feet up. You could have the hands behind the thighs or you can stretch them out. But try and really lift the chest, come onto the buttocks. Keep it with a half boat first of all. So finding this balance. Active toes, so separating the toes. Keep breathing, lift the chest. Great, well done. And then release for a moment. You might just want to hug the knees, let the head drop and the chin towards the chest. And then let's try that again, and we'll try straightening the legs as well. So going to a full Navasana. So sitting up nice and tall, first of all, bringing the legs, hands either behind the thighs or stretching out. And then see if you can straighten the legs, active in the toes, lift the chest, breathe, smile, laugh. And if you fall over, it's fine. Great, well done. One more breath. And then come back into the half boat. And then you could, if you want to, just pat the feet gently. And then again, draw the heels towards you, hug your knees, and let your head bow down. So we've definitely worked our thighs this morning. This afternoon, I can feel mine. So then we're going to roll back really slowly. So have the feet about hip width apart. Again, press the big toe down, the base of the big toe, the little toe, the heel. And we're going to try and go really slowly. So lift the arms and try and move back with control. So we're just letting the back slowly come to the ground. Again, we're actively zipping up from the pubic bone to the navel. And then slowly, 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 we start to release the back. Well done. And then we slowly release the head. And then from here, lift the right leg up, stretch the toes a few times, circle the ankle a few times in both directions, just stretching that leg out. And then bring that right ankle across the left knee. And this might be enough of a stretch for the outer right hip, like this. And that's fine if it is just staying like that. Or you might want to bring your hands behind the left thigh, drawing that knee towards you, trying to keep your shoulders and your head down if you can. Breathing here. Diving into the right hip now. The awareness going there, stretching that hip out. One more breath. Great. And then releasing that right foot down to the ground. Lift the left. Stretch the toes a little bit, as we did with the other side. Stretch the sole of the foot. Point and stretch. Circle the ankle. Both directions. And then bring that left ankle rather over the right knee. And again, you can bring the hands behind the right thigh, drawing the left knee away, stretching the left hip. Last breath. And then we're going to lift both legs up with knees bent and come into happy baby. So either taking hold of the ankles, or if you've got long arms, you might easily take the toes or the inner or outer feet. But find a place for the hands that feels comfortable. And then you might want to rock a little bit. Keep your sacrum glued to the ground if you can. Or if you don't want to rock, you can just stay still. Feel that opening happening in the pelvis, around the belly as well. And remembering again to relax the face. Breathe. Great. And then release. Bring the feet down to the mat. Have them as wide as the mat. And then stretch your arms out away from the body. And we're just going to let the knees drop from side to side. So first of all, dropping to the left. And let your head and torso move to the right. And then inhale, bring the knees up. And exhale them down, this time to the right. Turning the torso and head to the left. So doing that a few times. And then the next time you drop to the left, if your back feels fairly stable, you might want to lift that left foot up and bring the heel onto the outer right knee, just to draw that knee down. So just seeing how that feels. If it does mean that your lower back feels a bit unstable, then perhaps don't do that. But it can be a nice stretch, a nice twist. Breathing here. And then releasing that heel and moving over to the other side. And this time the right heel comes up and just rests on the outer left knee. Turning the gaze towards the left and the torso, if that's okay on your neck. Great. And then slowly releasing, coming back to center. And stretching the legs out now for Shavasana. So if you want to put on an extra layer, cardigan or socks, then do. And if you've got a blanket near you, you could use that. Letting yourself rest now. Giving the body a chance to absorb the yoga. And also giving the nervous system a chance to absorb the yoga. And letting the body grow heavy. And as best you can, letting it be supported by the earth, by the planet beneath you. And if you need an anchor, letting the breath be your anchor in awareness. Breathing right down into the belly. And if you do find yourself coming up to the surface, going into thought, just try and steer yourself back, dive back in towards the breath and the body and the sensations there. Letting yourself rest in the stillness and quietness of the body. I'm going to read you a poem by Hafiz. It's got a bit of a diving into the depths theme. It's called Where Dolphins Dance. Again, the work starts. As soon as you open your eyes in the morning, hopefully you got some good rest last night. Why go into the city or the fields without first kissing the friend who always stands at your door. It takes only a second. Habits are human nature. Why not create some that will mine gold? Your arms are violin bows, always moving. I have become very conscious of whom we all play. Thus my eyes have filled with warm, soft oceans of divine music, where jeweled dolphins dance, then leap into this world. And then just starting to bring a little bit of movement back into your fingers and toes. Just bringing a little stretch into the hands, the feet, the legs, arms, and then the whole body. And taking your time to roll onto your side and then just to come up from there. And we'll just take a moment to sit together to finish the class. And just taking a moment to just appreciate the fact that you got yourself to this class today. And wherever you were, you probably connected with yourself more deeply. And that's in a way what diving into the depths means. It means just connecting with ourselves and our experience more deeply. And yoga's one way we can start to do that. And then slowly opening your eyes. So thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks to Hippolyte for stepping in and also doing the yoga. It's always nice to have someone doing yoga. And thanks to all of you for coming. Next week is the last YouTube class of the year. It's going to be a festive flow, so do tune in for that. I'm not going to be wearing a Christmas jumper, just so you know. Yeah, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the class, do look out for our winter online retreat. It's called the Heart's Release. There'll be meditation, talks, teaching, groups. There'll be a chance to meet other people via Zoom. And there'll also be yoga every day between 5 and 6. So do think about signing up for that. There's already 700 people. It'd be great if we got to 1,000. Think about that, 1,000 people practicing together over that period, 27th of December till the 1st of January. Really hope to see you there. Hippolyte will be one of the tech people, so he'll be there. I'll be there. Really hope to see you there. And yeah, if you are able to come, just have a look on the LBC website and you can book there. It's completely free. We just want people to, come on retreat if they can. So yeah, take a look and hope to see you there.